air she'd had left in her lungs, Cassie didn't say anything else. She just waited for him to continue. "There's been a death, Miss Weatherall," Orrin said. "It's your grandmother. Dr. Knight said you shouldn't go home, though, that it wouldn't be good for you right now. Dr. Knight said just to stay put and that he'll take care of everything." But Orrin was talking to himself because Cassie punched the last of the bears aside, got to her feet, and ran to her room to pack. Dixie May deserved a lot better send-off than this. But considering she didn't have a friend other than him in the tri-state area, Lucky figured he shouldn't be surprised there were only 4 people at her memorial service. 5 if he counted his brother Riley, who dropped by earlier. 6 if he counted the sweaty-faced funeral director who kept popping in and out. Lucky decided to count them both. Dixie May's driver, Manuel Rodriguez, was at the back of the room that the funeral home had set up. He was glaring at the flower-draped coffin, and the glare only got worse whenever his eyes landed on the 4-foot by 4-foot glossy picture that Dixie May had arranged to be placed beside her. No smile in this one. Just a steely expression, as if she were picking a fight from beyond the grave. Judging from Manuel's glare, he'd likely been on the receiving end of too many of Dixie May's fight pickings. Other than Manuel, the funeral director, and Lucky, the only other guests were 2 women, and Lucky used that term loosely. It was hard to tell their ages, probably in their early 20s. Purple hair, purple nails, purple lips, and boobs practically spilling out of their purple tube tops. Yet another loosely used term, because the tops were more like Band-Aids. Since Dixie May's only child, her estranged son, Mason Dixon, owned a strip joint on the outskirts of town, it was possible these 2 were his employees. Perhaps he'd sent them to see if his mom had left him some kind of inheritance. Good luck with that. Dixie May had probably figured out a way to take every penny to the grave, or skip the grave completely. Plus, Dixie May wasn't exactly fond of her son, and would have given her money to his strippers rather than the man she'd called her shithead spawn. Lucky hadn't been able to get in touch with Dixie May's only other living relative, her granddaughter Cassie, though Lucky and Dixie May's doctor had left her a couple of messages at her office in Los Angeles. Whether she'd show up was anyone's guess. He heard someone come in and turned, hoping it was a mourner who'd make this memorial service actually look like one. But it was only his twin brother, Logan. Logan and he were identical in looks, but that was where any and all similarities ended. Logan was the responsible, successful tycoon who ran the family business, McCord Cattle Brokers, and had been in charge of it since their parents had been killed in a car wreck 14 years ago. Lucky was the screw-up. Considering their older brother had been an Air Force Special Ops super troop and his sister was the smartest woman in Texas, it meant all the good family labels had been taken away. Screw-up suited him just fine. Fewer expectations that way. After having a short chat with Manuel, Logan came to the front where Lucky was standing. Even though Logan ran a cattle brokerage company, and ran it well, of course, there were no bullshit smells coming from his boots that thudded on the parquet floor. With his crisp white button-up shirt and spotless jeans, he looked as if he were modeling for the cover of Texas Monthly magazine. Logan had done exactly that, a couple of times. "Are those Mason Dixon's girls from the strip club?" Logan hitched his thumb to the pair in the back. Lucky shrugged. "Don't know for sure. I introduced myself when they arrived, but the only response I got was a grunt from one of them." He'd been afraid to ask anything else since even the smallest movement might cause those tube tops to explode. "Did Dixie May go peacefully?" Logan asked. "As peacefully as Dixie May could ever go anywhere. Thanks for coming. She would have appreciated it." "No, she wouldn't have. But I didn't come here for her. Are you okay?" The funny thing about having an identical twin was being able to look into